all right, let's get into the conspiracy theory shit. This is where I really want to take this podcast, where we gonna get like fucking probably blacklisted by the FBI. But I feel like
that's the goal.
I feel like a lot of this shit, honestly, is all bullshit. And I feel like it's like the people who do this shit it's the government and people like that. And it's people who just want to get people riled up about random shit while they go in the background and do a whole bunch of random shit that no one even talks about.
Yeah, like they, a lot of, I've heard before, especially in the beginning of Trump's presidency, they were like, oh, he does all this crazy shit, right? He'll say this crazy thing or he'll whatever, do this crazy act. And while the media is focusing on that and everyone's just like, what the fuck, this guy, blah, blah, blah. Some like dude in Senate is like introducing a bill that'll like up your taxes or it'll take away certain people's rights or whatever. And it just slides by. Slides. While you're just focusing on that. And it'll pass because like there's no one to object to because no one even knows it's going on.
Right.
So.
And they're all like minor distractions to get people off the scent of what really is an issue. Mm-hmm. Prime example, let's get into the nitty gritty of some other shit. The whole the Empire guy, the Jussie Smollett, I think that's his name, the actor who was assaulted, and it came out that he was assaulted because he was assaulted by Trump supporting gay bashers and black like haters.
That was the original story.
That was the original story, right? And that shit took wildfire. It was like as soon as that shit got posted, niggas was like, what? And you had basically, now let's go back to our LGBTQ podcast.
Yeah.
And when Adelpha was here, shout out to her, we pretty much it was legit what we were talking about. She was on the side of the LGBTQ. I was on the side of like black people and Black Lives Matter. But the whole basis of it was we were both pretty much saying like we can like come together on shit. Like we don't got to be separate on shit, whatever. Right? That was like my point that I was trying to make. In this situation, it's exactly what the fuck I was talking about. You take a black man who just happens to be gay, and you say that this like entity that hates both attacked me. It makes both of them join up, and it's like, oh, if he was just black and like these Trump supporters beat up this black actor and they said bye nigger and everything like that, we're tired of you on our television, and fucking they did that. It's like, oh my god,
yeah,
how dare they? You'll get a retweet.
That's it.
But then you add in, he was gay? What? Now you got the LGBTQ, and they're like, oh, hell no, wait a minute, you motherfuckers, right? And then you take the two prominent, like, social, at least today, like, the two prominent, socially outcasted, social, like, the two most, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like, hated on, basically?
Yeah, that's not a word, but we'll just use that term. The two most hated on entities right now, and you put them together, and it's like, ooh, this is gonna stay at the top of everyone's mind because
it was,
right, and it worked, right. And the whole time I'm seeing this shit, when it first came out, I was like, and I'm being dead ass honest, my first thought on it was, who the fuck is Jussie Smollett? Who the fuck is this guy? Like, whatever, right? Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't watch Empire. I don't, but I feel like I am black, so I'm like, I'm gonna know who you are. Like, even though if I don't watch your shit, I'm gonna know who you are. I have never seen this motherfucker in my life. I've never heard of his name. I haven't heard of shit, right? Yeah. So my first instance was like, this is some bullshit. Like, I don't believe it. But of course, I can't openly say that. And this is another reason why social justice warriors, right? Because if you say that, now, what did I just say? You have the two most dominant groups in this shit. If I say, you know, I don't really think this is some real shit, or whatever. Or if I go, who the fuck is this guy? Or whatever, right? I'm instantly looked at as like, nigga, you don't like your own race, nigga? You ain't down with the cause? This nigga got beat up by some Trump haters. Or if I say that, gay people are like, oh, because he's gay, you don't know who he is? Are you saying that you don't watch gay people and everything like that? And I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck this dude is, right? And I think it's some bullshit. Because the way I was looking at it from after I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me in Chicago, like, which is a major city, like, Chicago, Trump supporters beat this dude up at 2 a.m? Why? Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, I'm just like, why? For what? Like, because I'm like, I'm not even giving Trump people like bail or anything like that. But I'm like, he's not a big enough target to do some shit to. If someone like me in fucking like in America, and I feel like I'm a person who's up with entertainment and things like that. If I don't even know who the fuck you are, what statement does it make? You know what I mean? It doesn't hit. It doesn't. I feel like if you want to like target someone like that, that's like if some Trump people like fucking decided to like beat up Ellen. Oh yeah, like all hell's breaking loose because it's like she's the forefront of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, or like let some Trump people try to fucking like they put a noose around Will Smith's neck or some. You know, like that's someone I'm like, whoa,
right?
Hey,
right.
But I'm like this person. I'm like, who are you? You know? But of course, don't say shit. Cool, whatever, right? And then, slowly but surely, thanks to Reddit, shout out to Reddit. Reddit is really like, I mean, it says it's the front page of the internet and everything, but it really is like real life on the internet. Like, them niggas, they'll find everything, right? So, on Reddit, this thread gets created, and like, people who were like familiar with the situation, they're saying some real shit. And they're like, oh, this is some bullshit. Like, you know, this dude was in the club, and he was fucking with someone's dude. Or whatever, right? And the real story is that, or at least that's what they're saying, the real story is allegedly he was fucking with someone's dude. The dude's man was like, fuck this dude, and the dude's man and another guy followed that nigga home and beat the shit out of him. Which,
as you do.
Again, if we're being honest, yeah, that's some shit that would happen, right? And even looking at the pictures and shit, that's what it looked like happened. Like,
you just got beat up?
You just got beat up. Not like, whatever, right? Because I'm like, let's just look at it on a whole total perspective. If you're thinking about all the shit we know about, like, real, like, hate crimes and things like that, I don't know if you remember, and I'm sorry because I don't remember his name right now, and also I was young when this happened, but you remember that kid in the 90s? I want to say it was, like, the late 90s who... I don't know if he was like an up and coming actor or he was just a kid who like went to. I think he was just maybe. I don't think he was an actor at all, but he was. I think he was he was gay and he was going to school, and these I don't know if they were kids or whatever. I don't know if he was in college or high school, but it was like a huge hate crime because they killed him because he was gay.
What the fuck? No, I don't
yeah,
know.
like this was in the 90s, man. Like so this is. Again, I apologize. We were like fucking 7 or
elementary.
Yeah. So but I remember this was like a big story, right?
Damn.
And they killed him. It was a huge hate crime, and it was just because he was gay, and I think they hung him. Because I remember there was like it was a commercial that would play, and it was like his mother talking about it and everything like that, and like it was so shocking because I was just like, even at that age, I was like, why? For what? You know what I mean? Like. He wasn't bothering y'all, you know? And the reason I bring that up is because stuff like that, when a real hate crime, there is no, like, mercy. There's no sense of, like, you know, restraint and everything like that. The pictures of him and everything and his story just didn't add up because it was like he got socked up a couple times.
Yeah. But
his story was like they were beating him and they tied a noose around his neck and everything. And they poured bleach on him and everything like that. And I'm like, I've never, you know, in those issues, I've never heard of some shit where it's like you're going to survive it or it's like you're not left to where you're damn near debilitated.
Was there anything about his appearance that there was like bleach on him? Because doesn't bleach burn?
Yeah, no. Like
bleach doesn't burn?
I mean, no, bleach does burn, but I'm saying like no, there was nothing that from the pictures that looked like it was like that. You know what I mean? So
also, don't those like people that cause like hate crimes, don't they want you to know that it was a hate crime?
My point, right? So then randomly now it's like, oh, this was premeditated and these people were sending these letters to Fox Chicago and everything, and it's like we're gonna get you Jussie Smollett and everything. I'm like, again, who the fuck is this person? Because it makes him and like exactly, oh, Empire, and like Empower is better anyway, but whatever.
It's not the point.
It's not the point. Like the whole thing is, it's like, who is this person to be getting all this attention and everything like that, right? And then starts to come out. Little stories starts to come out. Like, before even we knew about the fucking incident or whatever, Lee Daniels, the guy who directs Empire and created the show, he had put a tweet up before we even knew what the fuck had happened. He had put a tweet up about the guy being assaulted, and it was like this, whatever, and then I believe it had either a link to the guy's music, because he's also a musician. He's an artist.
So he was using it for promotion.
We're going to get there, because the tweet mysteriously gets deleted. But of course, with the internet,
everything's archived.
There's screenshots of the fucking tweet.
Yeah.
And then Taraji P. Henson, who's on the show, she's one of the co-stars, she put up a tweet talking about, like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening and everything. Guys, go stream his music. Mark, if I get beat up, and it's because people hate black people, the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna tell you to tell people to go listen to the podcast.
Any opportunity to promote I'm gonna use it.
I'm
all about the money. Money first. Your well-being. Like third, fourth,
whatever,
somewhere.
Right?
Second, I'm just leaving it empty just in case something better comes along.
Whatever, something better comes along, then we're gonna do that. But it's like that happens, right? And then it's like, what? And then, you start to see more shit, and more shit starts to come out, and then the dude doesn't make a statement for days.
Right.
And then when he makes a statement, the first statement he makes is like, thank you for all the well wishes and things like that. I will go to the furthest extent to let you guys know that what I'm saying is the truth. And it was like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Why would you say, like, if it's true, you wouldn't even talk about it like that. Because you're like, this is stupid. Like, no, this happened. Fuck you guys and everything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk about, like, thank you guys for the well wishes and the prayers. I will get better. But you come back with, like, I'm going to make sure you guys understand that this is true.
Well, there was a lot of lack of information. Like, there was no information other than his statement.
There was no information. Again, you're in Chicago. You're not in fucking Idaho or, like, Kentucky. Some rural town. There's cameras everywhere. And then there wasn't footage. They wouldn't release it. And then the footage that you saw of it was, like, some grainy bullshit.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see anything. And you're like, what? Like,
what got me questioning it, I remember when it came out, what got me questioning it was the fact that he wouldn't, like, give up his phone.
No.
To, like, so that they could, like, try to find something.
Right.
To verify his story. He was like, nah.
And then do that.
Like, yeah. Nah.
And then it came out. I mean, it's looking like from the timeline, he didn't even call the police after it happened. Because the story was he was walking the subway, or he was leaving Subway, and he had food and everything. And the story goes that this happens. They beat the shit out of him. They tie a noose around him and all this other stuff. And then he goes home. Another funny thing that happened. Shout out to the Joe Budden podcast, because they talked about this shit too. But another thing that happened was he goes home. He doesn't call the police for like 2 hours. He called apparently his manager. And then he called Lee Daniels. Or I don't know if it was his manager, and then his manager called Lee Daniels or whatever, which... Why? And then when apparently when the authorities go to his place and they're getting the information and trying to recant his story, they find a Subway wrapper in the trash can.
So he ate. So he bought food. He got this shit kicked out of him. He went home, ate, called his managers and shit. Then, after all that, call the police. Cool.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. No, I would do it in the same order. I would, yeah, no.
I mean,
every time I get beat up or jumped, I use my Subway first, call you guys and let you know. And then be like, all right, quit time for the cops.
I mean, like, I'm in pain, but, this Philly cheesesteak bomb, bro. Like,
the pain of hunger on top of everything.
And then I know this noose is on my neck, but...
Yeah, no time to get it off. No time to take it off.
No time to take this shit off. Another thing, the noose was still on his neck when the authorities came.
There's got to be evidence on it is the thing, so I'm not going to touch it. But I'm going to get my crumbs and my food on it first.
I'm going to eat this sandwich first, just to let y'all know. And there's got to be crumbs. There's got to be evidence on this fucking
if Subway
noose.
does not hit him up for a campaign.
Fucking Jared is this dude.
Subway so good you'll get beat up.
You get beat up and fuck kids. Like, Subway, eat fresh.
You're missing on a grand opportunity, Subway.
Subway, hit us up, man. Hey. Every time I have a promotional idea, I'm just gonna be like, hey. Y'all know the vibes.
That'll get him every time.
Y'all know the vibes.
I wasn't really fucking with it, but then he said A.
When he said A, I was like, that's a good A. Like, but, you know, and it's funny because now it's coming out that the story looks like it's some bullshit. But of course, no one wants to jump to that conclusion yet because he was beaten and he's black and he's gay.
Right.
Which goes to my point of social justice warriors. Everyone jumped out the fucking window so early on that shit. And they were like, oh my God, you like Trump, these Trump racist, gay bashing motherfuckers. I'm so tired of this shit. Oh my God, please guys, pray for Jussie or whatever the fuck his name's. And pray for him and pray for everything he's going through. And we have to stop this type of, hate and everything like this. You can see all these fucking retweets and all these likes and whatever. And I'm like, at no point did it ever just occur to people to just like, wait. What happened to waiting for the facts? Or what happened to just trying to form, an independent thought on things? What happened?
That time has long been, like, it's past.
I don't see how it's past when everyone thinks they're independent thinkers.
Well, that's the illusion of it. Everyone thinks that way, but all they really base everything on is an accusation. I mean, accusations are taken as facts now. So if I accuse you of something publicly on Twitter, then the facts don't matter. It's just whoever is fucking with me at the time automatically believes me, starts talking shit on you, blah blah blah, and even when the facts come out that you didn't take whatever I said, it doesn't matter. It's just a mute. It's just no one talks about it. No one brings it up anymore. No one says how I was wrong or blah blah blah. It just on to the next topic.